Hi guys. Sorry I'm all up in your face, but another not feel good day. Um, I just wanted to get on here to do a little vlog, to kind of give y'all an update. And like I have mentioned many times in many of my vlogs that my intentions when I go into medical issues or what is going on in my life are never to get poor Wendy um, or attention in that way. I have for 23 years, I have been dealing with issues, actually longer than that. Mental health issues younger, but physical issues started 24 years ago. So that was when the first heart issue was discovered. And steadily things have just piled up. So it's not like I'm new or I'm seeking anything. And if you look on my About Me, or whatever it's called, page, here on my channel, it even, I even state that this is sort of like a therapy for me. I don't have anything to hide from anyone. I'm not a celebrity. Nobody cares. I don't have any close family who watch me. My sister-in-law used to, but I think she gave up because I was too boring for her. I have a close friend that watches, and but I would never, I'm not here to like talk about people or anything. It's strictly me and my life and what's going on. And a lot of people I know online, there's a lot of people creating illnesses. I haven't heard so much lately, but years ago it was like left and right people were claiming cancer and people were raising funds. This may have been even like before the GoFundMe stuff was going on, or was around. And people were raising thousands of dollars and having benefits, and then finding out that these folks were lying and this and that. And I don't know why I got off track really. But so I do this just to get it out. I don't think it's fair to put everything on my daughter. And one of my my dear friend that was here in town local is now no longer local, and we've sort of grown apart, which we need to strengthen that. Even though we're further apart now, I know we can. Stuff happens, but so I am using you all as my therapist, and you're free, which thank you for that. But anyway, I have for months and months, you don't have to go back and look at my other medical vlogs if you don't care to, but I'll just go through some symptoms. And excuse me if I start coughing. I've got this cough and congestion thing going on that just won't let go. But for the last couple of years, I've had weird stuff, and on top of my other things, and I'm not going to go through all my medical history here, but I have had some numbness. I'm diabetic, insulin dependent diabetic, which my use on insulin, I'm type 2. My use has gone down because I have tried very hard to reduce my amount of sugar and carbs, bread, potatoes, etc., high carb veggies and fruits. And that really does affect your blood sugar. Or because everything, for example, most people know bread turns to starch, which turns into sugar in your body. And to a diabetic, that's not good. But anyway, I have diabetic neuropathy. I get off track very easy, and I apologize. I'm very distractible in my brain. My brain works 1,000,000 miles an hour, and my body is a sloth. So, that is my spirit animal, a sloth. But anyway, and by the way, I don't mind getting on a video looking like total crap, because that's just me. This is me normal. I'm not wanting to be a big old, 1,000,000 subscriber channel. I just want you guys to see me for me, and to like me for me. And if you don't, then don't subscribe. But anyway, see, I told you I get distracted. I have diabetic neuropathy in my feet. And when I say in my feet, it's mainly in my toes. When my sugar, because I do rebel, a lot of times people with chronic issues tend to rebel and put themselves through a short phase of denial. And I've done that with several different things. I've had them retest me for my blood clotting disorder because I was tired of being on blood thinners. That's when I was on Coumadin. Coumadin is a horrible medication. It works wonderfully, and it is a lifesaver, so don't get me wrong. But it was nuts. Some people can get on one dose and pretty much stay on that dose forever. And some people, their bodies just, it changes, and what you eat changes it, and if you're sick and don't eat, it can change the reaction. So more than once I have needed plasma, and I have even been so bad to the point where I have needed whole blood. So I was rebelling, and I'm like, please retest me, period, or I'm not taking any of my medication. It was almost to a point to where I was like rebelling completely. This may be a long vlog, so I'm warning you now, I can be very Wendy, my name. Anyway, so they retested that, and yes, I had to be on blood thinners, but I'm on another one now. But anyway, back to the symptoms. I've never had fingers, hands, and limbs go numb. Now, I've had 2 small strokes one was after I gave birth to my son, who was stillborn at 34 weeks. And then one small one after I gave birth to Sarah. And that is when, after that, was when I was tested and found out I had the blood clotting disorder, which is probably why Andrew passed, but I did not want an autopsy at the time. But, so I know the difference from stroke, numb, and the tingly, nummy, weird stuff. And then there are times, still are, where I get vertigo horribly, to the point to where I can barely move. And I'm like, tie me down. I'm gonna, I'm going over, tie me down. Where issues with walking, nerve pain. I have nerve pain anyway, due to some other issues, but I was having more and in different places, and brain fog, which I've had forever, but I could literally be driving and just space out and not know what the hell I did for the last 15 minutes while I was driving, which is really scary. And it was getting to the point, it was happening when Sarah was in the car with me. Just several different things over the last couple years that were happening, and then they wouldn't happen, and then they would happen. It was almost like flares. I have a friend with fibro, and when she has issues, it's in flares. So I was just calling it flares. And I was thinking, well, because there was so much pain involved, I was thinking, well, is this, and also not just nerve pain, or I don't know if this is nerve pain, but it's like my scalp, the skin would actually hurt. It's like I could not touch or certain areas on my face or arm or whatever where I couldn't, like if I got an itch, I couldn't scratch there. There were several different things, and it would be horrible for like I would lay in bed and cry because I didn't understand what was going on. And it would happen for a few days, a few weeks, and then all of a sudden that part. Now my usual stuff is always there. And then, but the majority of that would just kind of go, and then it would come back. Well, the doctor was always talking, I wish we could give you an MRI. I wish we could give you an MRI. And I didn't really understand until it was explained to me later on that to diagnose MS requires either an MRI to check for, I'm not sure. I'm not medically, I have a lot of medical stuff wrong, but my medical knowledge is really not very good, except for about my conditions. And I constantly learn about those. Or a spinal tap. And I'm not going to go into what MS is. A lot of people know the basics, and I honestly just know the basics. But I thought, because I had so many symptoms, I honestly thought that I had fibro or something similar going on because of my friend Sheila. I was having so many of the same symptoms, and I've had to increase. I was already on gabapentin. I can't take pregabalin because it will numb my legs completely, bad side effect, and I will go down, like literally, and you know, that's not good for a big girl or anybody really, but big girls fall hard. But they finally, everything, because I have Medicaid, everything has to be, you have to be sent by a referral, and I finally got a referral that accepted my insurance. And a few weeks ago, I never got tested for fibromyalgia, but I had, excuse me, I had a spinal tap. And a week and a half or so later, and this was just about 3 weeks ago, I guess. It's been less than a month. They gave me the news that I was positive for MS, which is a huge, huge thing. Now, when I automatically think wheelchair, and it was devastating thinking that because, sorry, I don't want to, like, Sarah's here, she's being homeschooled again now. But I don't want to start crying or anything, so that's why anyway, I'm trying not to make this so awfully long. I'll probably make this a part 2 as well. But, so the first thing I thought was wheelchair, and who's going to help me with Sarah. Because I've always had a fear, and I don't want to go into great detail and personal details about my ex-husband, her dad, but it's not healthy for her to be there on a full-time basis, nor would she want to be. But that is next of kin, and if I were not physically able to take care of her, that's where she would go. So that's the first thing I thought, and I completely broke down, and I had another visit with the neurologist, who is going to be my neurologist. Sorry. Who is going to be my neurologist. And I'm going to make this a part 2 because this is 15 minutes, and I don't know if I'm able to go over 15, so I'm gonna cut this off and just make a part 2 real quick. So if you're interested, hang around, and I'll be right back.